Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to go over a market maker sell model on NQ. Okay, and so we're going to start at the higher time frame. This is 1 hour. Okay, so what I do is I go on the 1 hour time frame and I look for either a 1 hour candle for it to take out a high like it did here and this high right here, and it traded into a rejection block right here. Okay, and that's when it hits that, that's when I'm dropping down into a lower time frame like the 1 minute and see if I can see a market maker sell model in this case. Okay, but we want to go from one higher time frame PD array to another lower higher time frame PD array. So we have a rejection block here, and then I see a fair value gap right here. So there's your 1 hour fair value gap. So let's make that 1 hour fair value gap. Okay, so now let's drop down to the 1 minute time frame, and here we go. Okay, we just tapped into that rejection block right here. Okay, so now let's go candle by candle and let's see what we get here. Ideally I need a market structure shift, and that would be from here this low here. There you go. Alright, so you have a market structure shift right there. Alright, so we have a fair value gap right here, a very small one, right? Very small one. It's even right like that. Okay, so I don't really like this as a breaker block because it's not really a down close candle. It's a doji candle. This down here, this lower wick would probably still be considered a breaker block. I just don't like it. But I do see this fair value gap here, and it goes through, so I'll call that an inversion fair value gap right here. Okay. You also have an inversion fair value gap right here, if you wanted to mark that out as well. Inversion fair value gap right there. Doesn't really get traded through yet. Obviously, this one closed, so it didn't get back into it. Okay, so let's see if we come back into this inversion fair value gap here. I'd take an enter. That'd be our low risk sell. Okay, there you go. I'm going to sell one there. Call that our low risk sell right there. Sell one, and then we're going to short that. Okay, why are we shorting it right here? Well, let's pull our fib from high to low of the manipulation leg. So let's pull the fib from high to low. 2.5 is here, and 4 is just the bottom of that 1 hour fair value gap that I marked out. So that's why we're aiming for the 4. Going from one higher time frame PD array to a lower time frame PD array. Okay, so now let's keep going with our trade setup here. Okay, I'm gonna make this, so since we can see this, I'm gonna have this like this, but I'm not gonna have the lines extended, but I'm gonna have them like extended like that, so you can see this because we got a lot of stuff going on over here. So I want to kind of reduce it a little bit. Looking for a good run on stops here. I think that's actually kind of even with the stops here. All right, that one definitely did. So I would have taken it right here, up here, because we're on this stops. So let's turtle soup entry. We'll sell short there. So there we go. And I gotta sell down here because it's what TradingView does. So kind of sucks already, but that is what it is. Okay. Still aiming for the 4 standard deviations because we were going from higher time frame to higher time frame PD array. All right. So there you have a breaker. Why I choose this one? Because these bodies. I'll actually go to that low right there. These 2 candles, those are lower than this one. Could use this one as a breaker. I'm using the lower bodied candle. So it comes back up there. I'll use that for a OG silver bullet entry. So let's just keep going. All right, so we're going to sell another one there. OG silver bullet. Put our position on, again, aiming for the 4 right there. And that fills it in even more, gets a better entry if you waited a little bit more. There we go, I want to leave it, let's leave it. If you extended this over, you'd be right at the 2.5. And you see it's starting to consolidate there. So we're on NQ, so we should be able to still get to the 4. But there is some consolidation at the 2.5 level. Okay. I'm going to flatten them all right there. That would have taken us all out. Let's just do a couple more here. Okay. Here you go. Let's take off our positions here and let's do a recap. All right. So we had a higher time frame rejection block on the 1 hour time frame. We tapped into that, and that's when we dropped down to the 1 minute. But before we did, we want to go from one higher time frame PD array to another higher time frame PD array. So 1 hour to 1 hour. We saw we had a rejection block. I want to see if we had a reversal on that for a market maker sell model, and then targeting the fair value gap on the 1 hour, right? So we waited. We finally did get a market structure shift on the 1 minute. And then we came back up into an inversion fair value gap. I guess you could call this a breaker block. I just don't like the doji candle. It throws me, so still would be technically a breaker block. And then if fair value gaps, you got a lot of things. That's your low risk sell right there. Okay. Price came back down. It came up and ran buy stops here for a turtle soup entry. And then we came back down, came up into a breaker block for our OG silver bullet. And then we still took it down to the 4 standard deviations, which is at the very bottom of filling in that 1 hour fair value gap. And look at this to the tick. I mean, down here, just Look at that, fills that in perfectly. Okay, that is how you go from a higher time frame down to a lower time frame in the market maker model.